Good evening, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. This is IMAX Sports with another football video, and today I'm just gonna talk about what just happened. The Patriots played the Bills tonight for the division. At the end of this game, the Patriots ended up 9-4. The Bills ended up 7-5. So the Patriots are now up a game and a half on the Bills in the division. Buffalo plays Tampa Bay next week, and the Patriots have a bye. So we won this game 14-10. And Mac Jones threw the ball 3 times. I have no idea what I just watched. We ran the ball 46 times and had 222 rushing yards. And the Bills just couldn't stop it at all. The only touchdown the Bills scored was on a 14-yard drive where one of the Patriots players was back to return a punt, and the ball bounced off of their face mask. So it was counted as a muffed punt, and the Bills had a 14-yard touchdown drive. Other than that, they scored 3 points the entire game on drives that started in their own territory. The Bills actually got their passing game going. Josh Allen was 15 of 30 for 145 yards and a touchdown. Not a great line, but they actually threw the ball. Mac Jones was 2 of 3 for 19 yards. Mac Jones came away with a passer rating of 84. And Buffalo's running game really didn't get going into the fourth quarter either. The Bills actually moved the ball quite a bit in the fourth quarter. They put a lot of pressure on the Patriots. The Patriots did not respond. All of our yards came in the first and second quarters. All of Buffalo's yards came in the second half. And they really did put some pressure on us, but in the end, they just couldn't get in the end zone. The Patriots' red zone defense was fantastic, and the Bills just couldn't get it in. Matthew Judon got another sack, so now he's up to 12.5. He did get injured on one play, but I don't think it's anything serious. We had 2 sacks on the day for 14 yards. There was almost a third on the Bills' last drive. That would have been like a 14, 15-yard sack, but we couldn't get to Josh Allen. Josh Allen had a pretty decent game overall. He got away on the ground a couple times for 39 rushing yards. He was the Bills' leading rusher. He averaged 6.5 yards per carry. Most of the Bills players on the ground didn't average more than 3. And Damian Harris was the Patriots' leading rusher. He had a 64-yard touchdown run to start off the game. After that play, I honestly thought that the game was going to end 8-0. It didn't change much. It ended up 14-10. Damian Harris had 10 carries for 111 yards and a touchdown. So a fantastic game for him. Receiving on the Patriots end, Jonnu Smith had 1 catch for 12 yards, and Brandon Bolden had 1 catch for 7. On the Bills, Stephon Diggs had 4 catches for 51 yards. Gabriel Davis had 2 catches for 30 yards and a touchdown. That was that one touchdown, the 14-yard play. Emmanuel Sanders had 3 catches for 22, and that's all the really notable ones. Josh Allen lost a fumble. N'Keal Harry muffed the punt, so it counted as a lost fumble. And that's pretty much it. Jake Bailey, the Patriots punter, punted 6 times. The first 2 punts both went for about 14 yards. And then later in the game, he had a 72-yard punt because the way that the wind worked was it was just one direction, 30 miles an hour the whole game. So you were either with the wind or against the wind. With the wind, Jake Bailey kicked the ball 75 yards. Against the wind, he kicked it 14. And yeah, the Bills punter averaged 46.6 yards. Patriots punter averaged 42. The Bills were 1 of 2 on field goals. The one they made was with the wind. The one they missed was against the wind. The Patriots kicked both field goals with the wind. So that helped us get both of our field goals because they're both with the wind. And we got a 2-point conversion instead of kicking an extra point with our touchdown because we were against the wind at that point, and the Bills were with the wind, so they kicked the extra point. It was a really weird game because the weather was 30-mile-an-hour winds. Like, you couldn't consistently throw it. You couldn't consistently kick it unless you were with the wind. The running game was really all the Patriots had. We had 6 offensive linemen in on over 50% of our plays, which hasn't happened like ever in NFL history or since the Super Bowl era began. And yeah, not really much else to say. But figured I'd go over this game because it was kind of a weird game. It was an important game, and the Patriots now are leading in the AFC with a record of 9-4. 8-4 is the division leaders of all the other divisions. The Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Titans are all 8-4. The Patriots are 9-4. So there'll probably be a couple of 9-4 teams next week. Depends on if the Titans, the Ravens, or the Chiefs win. Probably at least one of them will win. But yeah. The Patriots also have a lot of tiebreakers because we are currently 6-1 in the AFC. So that helps a little bit too. Buffalo plays Tampa again next week, like I said, and then the week after, the Patriots and Bills will play again. The Bills will have a chance to try and reclaim the division, but especially if they lose against Tampa, I think that the Patriots should have a pretty strong chance of winning the division at this point. Hopefully that'll be a better game. Hopefully that'll be an actual offensive game instead of running the ball 46 times in a row. But yeah, that was what I just witnessed. I don't know how many of you guys were watching it, but it was a pretty interesting football game. So yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.